why should Scottish clubs look to be involved with yourself? What would they gain from being involved with TransferRoom, and what have the clubs that have been involved? What have they gained? What do you think they've really taken from it?
Yeah, I think that you gain a much bigger access to the market in terms of being able to see all of the opportunities that are there instead of just a handful by relying on your own personal network. So the speed that information travels online, you just can't compete with. So when you have 800 clubs and 500 agencies sharing information about their requirements on the transfer market, whether it be positions they're looking to recruit or players they're looking to move out, it's like that. Imagine that you had to look for an apartment in Rangers by calling up all your mates and asking them, do you know if there's any apartments for sale and how much they cost? Nowadays you just go on an online marketplace. I don't know what's the big one in Scotland, but yeah, yeah. And looking at what the Scottish clubs have gotten already, I think clubs like Celtic, Rangers, Hibernian, who have been to many TransferRoom events over the years, I think at a TransferRoom summit like the one we had yesterday in Amsterdam, you can probably meet 40 to 50 clubs or agents in the market. So if we say 50 and you've attended 5 events, having expanded your network to 250 key stakeholders in the business instead of having to travel 250 different places around is something very unique. And when we look at what's tangible, so I can see that, for example, Hibernian, they recruited both Salinger and Iredale. So one of them quickly became their number one keeper, and Salinger, and I think Iredale has been a consistent starter as well. For Rangers, they also recruited Cornelius and Giga, and a club like Motherwell. I think Theo Bear was signed to Motherwell. And then they sold him, then he was sold on to Auxerre. I think it might have been the agent that is also using TransferRoom, but that seems like a good deal for all parties. So apart from the network, the time savings, there's been a lot of tangible success stories as well.
And Nasser Jigger, the one you mentioned there with Rangers, he's quite an interesting case. He was bought for £10 million by Wolves. Probably it was viewed that he maybe wasn't quite ready for the Premier League, but he's come up in a season-long loan for Rangers. And now, like all these things, his best form is happening right now. There's a big debate in Scotland about him and his potential suitability. So, but that's a great way you're mentioning the TransferRoom, that maybe a deal, an access port that might not always be there for clubs. And again, that was in the Kevin Thelwell era. Did you know, if you spoke to Kevin, do you know Kevin well?
Yeah, I know Kevin quite well.
Yeah. And that's him to a T, then finding a kind of English deal there, and he's obviously back in the game now as well. So there's opportunities, isn't there, for Scottish clubs through yourself. It's an interesting time. I don't know if you know that Hearts are right in the mix to be the first team outside Celtic and Rangers to win the league in 40 years. So there's a lot of women there. Do you know Tony Bloom? Has Tony Bloom been a man who's been involved in TransferRoom over the years, or does he do his own thing?
I don't know everywhere. He's from Hearts, yeah?
Yeah, Tony Bloom, Brighton owner. He's the Brighton owner.
Tony Bloom.
Yeah. So he's also involved in Hearts now.
Brighton have actually been also one of our best users ever on TransferRoom. I think they've done around 30-40 transfers via the platform. They obviously had a lot of players on loan. That they developed very well, like Moises Caicedo. His loan to Beerschot in Belgium was also helped with TransferRoom, who then obviously he got sold for 100 million to Chelsea after. So definitely.